Hey everybody, Mr. Quick here. Today we're going to be looking at Eureka Math / Engage New York Math, Module 4, Lesson 6, the order of operations, A.K.A. also known as PEMDAS. Now I know this is probably not the first time you've heard PEMDAS, but we're going to go ahead and spend this lesson reviewing what that means and why PEMDAS is a little bit of a quirky acronym for what we need to do. And I'll tell you why that is here in just 1 second. In fact, I'll tell you right now. So when you have a math equation, or when you have an expression, and it has different types of operations within that expression, we have to do that in a certain order. And the reason I say that is let's take a look at something here. If we did 2 plus 5 times 10, and then over here I'm going to put 2 plus 5 times 10. Same exact problem, right? Well, if I do 2 plus 5, I'm going to get 12 times 10. I'm going to get 100. I'm sorry. That's funny. I was getting ahead of myself. If I do 2 plus 5, I'm going to have 7, and then times 10. My answer is going to be 70. So the answer to this question on the left is 70. On the right here, if I do 5 times 10, I'm going to get 50. And then I add in the 2, I'm going to get 52. So by doing the exact same problem, by doing that in 2 different orders, I get 2 totally different answers. Being honest though, there's only one correct answer to that math problem. So, which one is it? It is in fact, in this case, 52, because we use the order of operations, or what is otherwise known as PEMDAS. And it goes like this. Anything in parentheses, you answer first. You always answer parentheses first. Then, if there are exponents, you solve for the exponents. Then, multiplication and division. Now, here's the tricky thing. It doesn't necessarily mean that multiplication comes before the division. It depends on their order. So, you just go from left to right, multiplication and division. So if division is first, you do division first. If multiplication is first, you do that first. You do them in the order that they come, left to right, multiplication and division. Then addition and subtraction, and it's the same thing. It's not exactly addition then subtraction, it's addition and subtraction from left to right. So again, PEMDAS is a great way to remember the order of operations, but just know that when you write it out, you have parentheses, exponents, then you have multiplication and division, and then you have addition and subtraction. These go together and these go together, depending on which order they come to. You come to them in the problem. So let's go over some of these expressions and see if we can evaluate the expressions. Let's solve some problems is what I'm saying, and let's go ahead and use PEMDAS. All right, we'll start pretty simple. We're looking at, again, PEMDAS. We have 4 plus 2 times 7. Well, I have 2 operations. I have multiplication and addition. Multiplication and addition. I'm not sure if I said that right. Multiplication comes first, so I'm going to do my multiplication problem. 2 times 7 is 14. I'm going to bring down the rest of my problem, so the 4 plus 14, that's what we have left. We end up with 18. We did multiplication before we did the addition. We did them in that order. Even though addition is what technically came first if you're reading left to right, because of PEMDAS, we make sure we do the multiplication first. All right, 20 minus 5 times 2 plus 1. Well, if we, again, remember our PEMDAS, we have subtraction, we have multiplication, and we have addition. So, go back up to PEMDAS, and we're looking at multiplication comes first. So we're going to multiply 5 times 2, which gives us 10. And we're going to bring everything else down just the way it is. Now we have 20 minus 10 plus 1. So we have addition and subtraction. Now, look over here. The AS says addition and subtraction. But remember, it's it's left to right. So is multiplication and division. So even though AS, addition, subtraction comes second, you actually do them in order from left to right. So we're going to do this first. 20 minus 10 is 10. plus 1, we end up with 11. All right, 90 minus 5 squared times 3. Let's go PEMDAS up here. First thing I see, we don't have any parentheses. Cancel that out. We do have an exponent, 5 squared. That is the same as, again, 5 times 5, which is 25. And now I'm going to bring everything else down exactly as it is, right? So, do I have multiplication or division? I do. I just have multiplication. So now I'm going to do 25 times 3, which is going to give me 75. And I'm going to bring the rest of the problem down exactly as it is. Addition or subtraction? We only have subtraction left. 90 minus 75 gives us 15. Okay, now we've got a lot going on here, right? I'm seeing addition, division, multiplication, exponents, subtraction, lots of stuff. So let's go ahead and write our PEMDAS down and go through it one step at a time. No parentheses, but I do see some exponents, or at least one exponent. 9 squared, which is 9 times 9, which is 81. So I'm going to bring down everything else just exactly how it is above. Don't have any more exponents. I do have now multiplication. 3 times 2 is 6. And again, I'm going to bring everything else down just exactly. Actually, I messed that up. Hey, I'm glad I made that mistake, because that just shows that we can make mistakes and catch ourselves, right? So again, multiplication and division, we go left to right. So I have division first. So I have 81 divided by 3, which is 27. And now I will bring everything else down exactly as it is. Now we go to multiplication, because again, we will go left to right, so that's why it's second. 27 times 2 is going to be 54. We end up with 4 plus 54 minus 2. Addition, subtraction, we go left to right. So 4 plus 54 is 56. I'm sorry, 58. 58 minus 2 equals 56. So a lot of steps, but it's simple math. The hard part is making sure you keep it all straight. Okay, now we've got 2 times, and then 3 plus 4 in parentheses, squared. So let's look at PEMDAS here. And what do we have? Well, in this case, parentheses, we do have parentheses, 3 plus 4. If I add those together, I get 7, and I bring everything else down exactly how it is. Now we have 7, which was inside the parentheses, squared. So 7 times 7 is 49. I bring everything else down again as is. I end up with multiplication. 49 times 2. I know 50 times 2 is 100. And then I can take away 1 from each. So we end up with 98. Now, should take a look at this problem. 2 times 3 plus 4 squared. 3 plus 4 being in parentheses. Now, check it out. Same problem, but in this case, the exponent is inside the parentheses. So, how do we do that differently? What's different about it? Well, we start with the parentheses still, because of PEMDAS. So we're going to do what's inside the parentheses first. Now, once we go inside the parentheses, we have an exponent, and then we have an addition problem. So we're going to do the exponent first. So we end up with 4 squared, which is 4 times 4. That's 16. So we have 3 plus 16, which is still in parentheses. And we bring everything else down. Now we do so we've done the exponent because it was inside the parentheses. So by doing the exponent first, we are doing what's inside the parentheses. We do 16 plus 3 because it's in the parentheses, which is 19. We bring down our multiplication problem. We end up with 2 times 19. We end up with 38. So hopefully you can see the difference there. We got 98 here. We got 38 here. The reason was this was 3 plus 4, and then you're taking that to the power of 2. This was 4 to the power of 2 plus 3. Same numbers, different problem, which is what PEMDAS is all about. Okay, we'll go ahead and stop there, and we will look at some more equations together. Thank you for watching. can't wait to talk about PEMDAS with you and see what we can do. See you then.